Hey YouTube family. I had my sonogram today and they didn't find a heartbeat with the baby. This is the second sonogram. The first doctor visit was on April 11th, and they saw they said it's definitely a sac there. They saw the sac, but they couldn't see the baby. So it was either two things. My conceive dates could have been off. So they thought that my last menstrual period was January 30th. And my appointment was April the 11th. So they told us that the baby would be due November 5th. But when they did the sonogram, they didn't see, they didn't see the baby then. So he said it could be one or two things, that my egg is no longer viable. So he did a screen test, and I had to take, I had to get blood work done. So I got blood work done, and he said he was looking for numbers over 12. And when the test came back, our numbers were 14.4. So we were excited. I was waiting for the phone call, and we got it from him last week, and we were excited. He said everything looks good. And then so he scheduled another ultrasound. I keep saying sonogram. For the 19th, which is today. So we went in, but I also had to take get some more blood work done before the 19th. And it's called K-screen. I'm sorry. It's anyway, the bottom line is it was 47,000 on the 11th, I guess, and then on the 17th it went down to 42. So he said, when my husband and I didn't know that news yet until we got to the doctor's office, and he came in and he said he got the test results back from the blood work, and it's not good. So we went from being ecstatic about having another baby to being devastated. So of course he didn't even get to do the test shot, and I just started wailing and crying, but he already knew what to expect before he looked, and he still didn't see a further growth with the baby. So he scheduled me to go to another hospital, and we went to another hospital, and they did a sonogram, and she was able to see the baby. It was so little, but they didn't see a heartbeat. So I don't know how I feel right now, But I do know that if it wasn't for our other 3 kids, I don't know. My husband and I, we was riding home. It was just an awful ride. We both just kept crying, and just right now I'm sitting here and the baby, is not alive, and I have to still carry her around, or him around inside of me until I have the DNC, which is scheduled for tomorrow. But it's just a really awful feeling, to want something so bad. And then, over the weekend, we were just talking about names. And for some reason, I couldn't come up with a name. But, my twin sister came up with a name. And my mother-in-law came up with a name. And she said, my oldest son, he said, because we always named a girl. We thought it was going to be a girl. And my oldest son said Faith. And my mother-in-law said Gabriella, and so, and then my twin, she came up with a name, and if it was a boy, I was going to name him Jonathan Alexander. That was just one of the names, I was throwing out there. It's just so, when I have a choice, I can wait until I start miscarrying, or I can schedule to have the DNC. Who wants to wait until you start bleeding and losing the baby? That's just more awful things to experience, so I said no. So, I'm 45 and my birthday is Sunday. I thought that for my birthday, I would have a new baby, in my life. A new baby girl, oh boy. It didn't happen. And I told my husband that I just, I think I should just get my tubes done because I can't go through this again. I know that, as you get a certain age, things become more riskier, but I just thought that because in March I missed my monthly, and I went and got a pregnancy test, and it confirmed me missing my monthly, And my husband and I looked at the strip, and it went from 1 line to 2 lines, and we were happy, and we couldn't believe it. It was just an overwhelming experience. It was beautiful, and it was scary because, we was thinking about my age and the baby not making it. And then when the doctor said that the test was from 12 to 14, so we thought we was good, And then the baby just stopped growing, I don't know why. She just stopped growing. I'm sorry. It's just, it's just so overwhelming. It's so horrible. It's so horrible. When I was coming down the hallway in the hospital, I said, now I know. Now I understand why people fight so much for abortion, because when I was younger, I had an abortion. I had my oldest son, and I guess he was 1, and I got pregnant again, but I stayed sick, and I couldn't take care of him properly. So I had an abortion. It was the worst decision I ever made in my life. And I told them, I said, if I see a baby, I'm not going to do it. And when they showed me the picture on the screen, it didn't look, you know, I didn't see fingers and toes and stuff. I didn't see a baby. But no matter what, that baby was alive. And I got rid of it. I had an abortion. And it just was the most horrible decision I ever made. I cried so bad before I did it. And now today, I'm pregnant at 45. And the baby that I can have and I want, all of them I wanted. But the one that, you know, at 45, you're pregnant. And it's just shocking. And my youngest is 9. And my husband and I, we don't use birth control. And, you know, all of a sudden I'm pregnant. It was just, you know, I thought it was a miracle or something. I don't know. But to carry it for 2 months, you know, my last menstrual was in March. And this is April. My last menstrual was in February, I'm sorry. But to carry it and it live for a little while and then it dies, you know. It's just so horrible because now I wish, oh God, I wish I never had an abortion because now I know you're taking a life, you know. And this one just stopped. Just stop breathing or just stop living. And I said to my husband, I said, maybe this is payback to know the seriousness of having an abortion. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is it hurt so bad. I just kept dreaming about holding her on the way home. I couldn't wait to see him and kiss him and hug him, you know. And I can't. She's gone. And I had to sit in the waiting room and listen to everybody's story. There was women in front of me. You know, everybody in the waiting room is pregnant. And me and my husband sitting there. And our baby is dead. And we just gotta listen to everybody's story. How the baby kicking. Oh my God. This is the worst day of my life. This is the worst day of my life. I asked the lady for the picture and the sonogram. I wanted a picture of the steak. I need to have a picture. It's just so horrible. It's so horrible. When I come over here to talk. My husband's going to work. My kids are in school. My mom lives with me. You know, my mom had a stroke in April. And she's healing and doing good. And I've been taking care of her. You know, me and my brothers and sisters have been taking care of her. And I have to tell her this. I'm afraid to tell her this. I don't want anything to happen to her. I have to tell my twin that she's not doing, you know, she's coming from the hospital herself from surgery. I don't want nothing to happen to her. It's just, you know, this is my birthday weekend, Sunday the 22nd. And it's horrible. It's horrible. It's a horrible weekend it's gonna be. Now I must think. Share my birthday with.